You ever have that friend or family member who's recently started trading? And I say trading in quotes because that could mean a lot of different things, especially for someone who's fairly new to the game. You have stock picking, which is like the entry, the gateway drug to the whole gambit of trading, where you kind of have this like hybrid investing approach where you think you can time the market and pick stocks and buy dips and ride the trend and then sell it at a relative high and then pick something else and do the same thing and completely obliterate the S&P 500 returns over the course of a couple of years and retire your family, retire your parents, and then dip. Then you might find your way into options trading, which you're like, oh, hey, I lost a ton of money doing this hybrid investing stock picking approach. Let me try options where I can use a little bit of money and I can make 10,000% returns on different trades. And now I can, compound my wealth exponentially, and so I can do the exact same thing, but now with even less money to start because I lost it all picking stocks. Maybe you fail at options, or you move over to futures and now you start trading crude oil, you start trading the S&P, you start playing different things. You might even start trading lean hogs for all I care, but you find your way somehow into futures. And maybe that doesn't work out, and then you move on to Forex, and that's where we could have a shit show. Anything can happen there. And Forex, man, is a completely uncharted territory for me personally. I don't know if I'll ever make it that far, but hey, if I do one day, what I can assure you is that things are not going well. No hate to any of those different methods of trading. You can actually become profitable at any of them. It just depends on what you like the most, what fits your style, all that stuff. But you might look at that person, that friend, that family member, and you might say, oh boy, oh Donnie, I've been there. I've done that. And let me tell you, it is not going to end well. You try to warn them, but they don't really care. They keep going on, and then next thing you know, they're telling you about all this money that they're making and how they've been doing it for a long time. And you're like, doesn't sound like, as much of a fluke as I maybe thought it was. Oh, I thought this was maybe like, one trade, a couple of weeks. They're talking about a couple of months. You're like, holy shit, this guy might actually have something here. But maybe you chalk it up to pure luck, and you're like, no, market's been going up. It's been pretty easy, or the market's been going in one direction. It's been pretty easy to make money. Hey, it's just luck. It is what it is. But it still irks you. And I get it. I mean, like, picture someone who, in your opinion, knows nothing compared to you about the markets, trading, investing, anything in general. And they're out here making money. They're making it look easy, and you're over here struggling. And that kind of hurts, right? It has to hurt. And that may just be exactly it. Let me explain. But first, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Iron Beam.
Welcome to Iron Beam, the future of futures trading. With our cutting-edge chart trading feature and 300+ indicators, you can now trade directly off the chart anytime, anywhere. Delivering seamless trading across all platforms, the Iron Beam journey is supported by 24-hour trader support, low day trade margins, and no account minimums. Iron Beam brings the future into the present. Join now and augment your trading experience.
Throughout our journeys as traders, there comes a time, everyone goes through this, where we want to always keep learning more. We can never get enough. The amount of indicators on our charts, we cannot have enough. We want to learn how the markets work. We want to learn how the Fed works. We want to learn how different things impact different sectors, different aspects, different futures contracts, different ways we trade. We want to put all this together and learn more. The list goes on, but ultimately we mean well. We want to try to get an edge, and we think that learning more things will give us an edge, and it certainly could, and in theory it makes sense that it should, but that's not always how it works. What many of us end up finding is that the more we try to learn, the less money we end up making as a result. It's like the law of diminishing returns. So, you learn a lot early on. You might learn technicals, fundamentals, whatever style you trade. You learn how the basic contracts work if you trade futures or options, whatever. And you're making, that leads to the ability to make more money. So you're kind of going like this. And then eventually kind of it tails off. But when it comes to trading, it's not only that the law of diminishing returns plays out and it starts to tail off. We eventually slope down the other side, and learning too much actually is negative, and that's what we find. It's not that what we know or what we're learning is like wrong, because we will learn valid things, and you'll learn how this indicator works, or how this works, or how theta decay works, or how these contracts are priced. all of these different things. Like, we learn all these things and they're not wrong. It's just how we interpret them that's what gets us in trouble. Many times we have too many indicators on our charts, we have too many strategies that we're looking at, or too many opinions if we're watching CNBC and Bloomberg and Fox News or all these different, business channels that you could be putting on, and you're getting all opinions. And on social media, it's even worse because you can follow 75 different people in the trading community that all have opinions, are all blurting out things, and now your feed is got this guy talking about going long, this guy talking about going short. Everybody's got an opinion, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? We just can't handle all of these things all at once. So our mind decides to take us for a ride, and every day is a different ride, which it's exhilarating at times, but it probably hurts the wallet. Overthinking, second guessing, hesitating, all these different things that if we were to remove ourselves and take a step back, we'd probably say that these are not traits that are found in a consistently profitable trader. Yet we still fall back into these bad habits. So to bring it back to the beginner and bring it full circle here, the beginner is unaware of all this jazz that we just talked about. The beginner is too new to have to deal with everything that we just mentioned. Well, maybe it is simply luck. Keeping it simple and operating with simplicity is likely part of the reason that they are actually seeing success in the first place. They're not in their heads, at least not yet, because the beginner only knows what they know, and what they don't know at this point can't hurt them. So the moral of the story here is be a beginner. Think like a beginner. Try to operate with simplicity. Knowing too much is not necessarily a good thing, because trading can be as simple or as complex as you make it. Investing could be as simple or as complex as you make it. You have the ability to choose. Hope was helpful. I'll leave the link to the sponsor, any other resources down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.